fun. Holy shit, we finally came to the end of this Helloween nightmare. I mean, retrospective of their entire album. Tonight we're going to talk about the new one. And holy shit, Timo Tolkki's in the house.
It's time for Rat Salad Review!
Welcome to Rat Salad Review, and yes, we have Timo Tolkki here, the ultimate power metal wizard. I don't know what to call you. And then
human being.
And Celio, you are back. I invited you back for this monumentous final Helloween show.
Sounds very final.
Yes, we will never do Halloween ever again.
You're damn right I won't.
Wayne, you've destroyed power metal for me for the rest of the year.
Is it that bad?
No, the album wasn't bad. We went through every single album.
Oh, okay.
For like the last...
Too much of one thing over a 3-week period. Can't take it.
Too much Helloween will kill you.
At least when Greg recommended Coroner, it was fine. They only had 5 albums and a demo.
Right.
I got the last release from Helloween.
Oh, you got the little...
For my God Given Right.
Yeah.
But before Helloween, self-titled.
How many records they have, actually?
We went through how many? 17?
17.
This is the 18th release that we'll be covering, but it's the 16th full-length original album.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Celio, did you get the new album?
Yeah, I just ordered it, but I'm still waiting to come.
You're still waiting for yours too. All right, so am I. I'm waiting for mine. It's on its way from Japan and Germany, and the U.S. is shipping theirs out late. I don't know why, which sucks because I want the actual thing. What about you, Greg? Is your CD coming or your record?
Yeah, I ordered the vinyl record.
Oh, you did? Okay, I was only kidding.
Closing it.
No, I didn't get it yet, but honestly...
Who's speaking?
Greg.
I am.
But your mouth is...
It's Celio. Celio, you gotta mute the mic.
Celio, you gotta raise the mic or mute the mic when you're not
I'm
speaking.
sorry. Okay, just a
This is
moment.
Darth
Ignore
Vader
it, please.
retrospective. This is a Halloween retrospective.
Yeah, I know. Okay, no problem.
But I was going to say I'm a little worried because I ordered it from Amazon again, but I'm going through a thing with them right now where my reissue of Voivod's The Outer Limits has never showed up. So I think they oversold that and they didn't have enough, and I hope they didn't do the same thing with Helloween.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people are having problems getting the new Helloween, in the U.S. at least. A lot of people overseas and everywhere else is getting it, but...
I mean, that's a typical Skype problem because he's like frozen. I mean, his voice is okay, but head is like...
It might be you, because he's fine for me. Oh,
Really?
no, he is freezing, yeah.
No, I have a really, really fast, perfect Finnish Wi-Fi here. So.
I don't really move all that much.
Well,
Yeah,
you move really slowly, but your voice is okay.
Okay.
He doesn't have very good cable out in Minnesota.
Cable?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Whatever.
Well, I live with like 3 other people.
In Mexico, they actually have a cable. They put the cable. I've seen it. You know, they put the cable to the tree and then to the house. Yeah, that's a cable. If I ever seen one.
And they sit there and hold it in there while you're using it, and then when you're done, they take it out and bring it.
No,
to
they
the
actually put it to the modem, but it is a real cable.
Quick,
we
Junior,
don't
put the fork in the outlet. Let's see if the internet worked that way. He's dead.
But I just wanted to say, sadly, I started this show in 2018. Me and Greg started this show with some other people, but me and Greg are the original members of this show. And the whole reason why I wanted to start this podcast was to get to the new Helloween album, because the last one, My God Given Right, was already released. And then seeing that, they might be getting back together, I wanted to do this podcast to get to this point for this new album. And when this new album was released, I wanted to review it. And then it's going to be the end of Rat Salad Review.
Really?
Yeah.
End?
You Yertle the Turtle look-alike motherfucker. You are such a liar.
I just wanted to get your reaction. No, I'm not ending the show. But that would be something I would do, though.
Yeah. Well,
You guys look kind of cool
I'll do
because
what I
your
want,
faces
so
are like,
whatever.
you know,
It's all right, Greg and I will continue.
you look really weird because you're like half of the faces next to each other in my
Yeah,
screen.
well, you're on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
I understand
That's
what
why.
you're describing now. I was
Yeah.
confused, but yeah, it does that for me too.
It's like a
tough.
really weird looking.
Especially when like you're talking right now, and the way I'm seeing it is you and Wayne.
Maybe you can go a
like
little
that,
higher.
like you were.
Maybe
just
you can go a little
describing.
higher so I can really see the whole face. You know.
I
No,
can
not
try-
you. You.
Oh.
Me?
No, you down. Wait.
Oh,
down. a little
me
more
now?
down. Yeah, exactly. That was
Where
perfect.
now?
I'm not sitting like this.
Yeah.
You're
No.
giving someone a Hummer. You're frozen.
I don't know.
That's usually what they do over there in Brazil, right?
Oh, come on. You trying to get us banned
Maybe-
there?
Maybe he's
Oh, he's from Brazil, dude. I love Rio. It's great. Looks like Jesus is on the dashboard of the whole country.
Not presently though.
maybe he's giving himself a Brazilian wax right now. Celio, what are you doing?
Oh, there's a mental image I didn't need.
A matter of time before that joke was used.
Wayne Noon, destroyer of pleasant evenings.
Celio, where'd you go? Oh boy. Well, this is the stuff that we have to deal with Celio.
But anyway,
Anyway.
fortunately,
Oh, he crashed.
it
Celio,
did
come back. I have
with
making
the
pictures of
digital
Esperanza
download.
Gomez. Everybody does.
I'm gonna call him back.
Who's
What was that,
Esperanza
Greg?
Gomez.
I was gonna say, fortunately, it came with the digital download, though, so you know,
Okay.
Who is
you
it?
can still
Who's
listen
Gomez?
to it.
Oh, Esperanza Gomez is a Colombian adult film star, Timo.
Porn star.
Yes.
Let me check her. What was her name?
You probably
Esperanza.
saw her down in Mexico not too long ago.
She's
Really?
from Colombia. Esperanza Gomez.
Oh, okay. Back again.
All better? Okay.
Back again. I'm sorry. It's my connection. I don't know what
Are we
happened.
gonna have a problem?
No, it's okay now. It's solved it.
Oh yeah, Esperanza Gomez anal. Is that the one?
Baby.
Sorry, not my fault. Okay.
That ass is too big, man. I don't like that. That's a
You know
good looking
what?
girl for you.
I'm happily married. I just I was just trying to throw Celio off.
You cannot watch porn in a marriage now. Is it forbidden?
No, it's completely approved.
Okay, well you just said I'm married. I thought your
I
wife
don't
doesn't
need
like.
porn. I'm married.
Hey, this starts very well. This Helloween podcast.
Yeah, it does. I might
Michael
have to start this
Kiske, if
off.
you're watching this, please forgive us.
Well, I think
Anyways, all right, we're here to talk about the new Helloween album. Let's do it.
We are here to talk about the new Helloween album, which is entitled Helloween. I was really looking forward to this album because, like we talked about earlier, like Celio showed his new Pumpkins United vinyl that the band pretty much got back together with some of the original members, Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen, and
well, he wasn't
So-
original though.
all right, yeah, okay, well,
Is it called Helloween, the album?
yeah,
Yeah,
Or
self-titled.
original title?
yep, I know, right? I don't know where they thought that one up.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe
Especially when they already have an EP already named Helloween. They, let's make things more confusing.
Oh.
Queensryche did the same thing. Their first EP was Queensryche, and then they made a second EP with the new singer, and they called that Queensryche too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just a
I
name.
don't know.
I believe the reasons behind both though is to make a statement of what they're doing now, and this is the new Helloween United. Same thing with Queensryche.
Pro, exactly that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, me personally, I would have preferred them, even if they went with the name of one of the songs, like Skyfall's cool.
Yeah, they could have really picked anything. There's a lot of cool titles on this album. But are the songs that cool? I don't know, man. I mean, I've been listening to this for probably like a week and a half. And Celia, you've been listening to this for a long time. You said when we did the last show with you, you've had this for a while because you illegally downloaded it. And
Where do you do that these days? Actually, where do you download illegally? Napster?
I don't know, Greg.
Someone gave me
It's
the
probably up on
I know, I'll tell.
Metal Tracker.
Who gave me
or places like that.
who gave me
That's
the link? Okay.
Does Napster still
Napster.
exist? Does it exist?
No,
still?
no.
No,
No.
Napster's gone. I think, right?
It's gone. Long time ago.
Yeah, like 20 years ago at this point.
The
It's
fuck were
been a
no
while.
Yeah, but I think mostly like torrents and stuff now. But I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. But people have downloaded my album 1,000 times already too. So wherever they're getting it from, I don't know. But it's very annoying. Yeah, that's right. Look at that. ProjectResurrect.bandcamp.com. So yeah, I've been listening to this for a while, and I like it. I mean, let's see, Greg. I know you're not the biggest Helloween fan. So what is your opinion on this new album?
It's okay.
Uh.
I like it, but I feel like it's not as good as it could have been. They do a pretty good job with, I'm going to call it the compromises, of combining the two eras together. And for the most part, it works, but there's certain transitions and different things like that where I feel like they could have thought it out a little bit better.
Right.
Same thing with some of the harmony vocals, because like with the Pumpkins United thing, and when they were doing a lot of that stuff live on stage together with the different vocalists, I think they made it mesh pretty well, better than some of the choruses do on here. There's a couple of things seem kind of clunky and unfinished, I guess is what it is. I like it, but I was expecting a little bit more. There's a couple songs in here that almost seem like filler tracks, but when it's great, it's definitely great.
Yeah. Celio. You unmuted?
Well, I probably is not the best Halloween album ever made.
Yeah.
I think power metal cannot do something more creative as before, but it's still a great album for sure. Maybe it's a Halloween classic. As I said in another live stream, it's not an album to make a new Halloween fans, but for Halloween fans. And they are being very conservative about it. I'm sure it's going to sell a lot. And this one makes them become big again as a great band they are in history.
You think they're being really conservative on this album, though? I mean, to me, it seemed like, because like the My God Given Right, that was very pretty much stripped back down to like kind of old style. This one's kind of like back to doing their wild and crazy, fast songs and all that stuff again. So it seems it doesn't really seem that conservative to me. It seems like they're kind of like, starting back from where they left off with like Straight Outta Hell, or even like Gaming with the Devil.
Well, as I said, My God Given Right is conservative for their era, and Helloween, self-titled, is conservative for Halloween entire history. Yeah. Like 80s and Michael Kiske voice and Darius voice. I think both are singing a lot. I'm gonna talk about it after. There's this really nice, no surprise for Kiske. I love it.
Cool. Timo, I talked to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, and
I actually I only heard 3 songs by that. So.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, what I listen to now, I actually think they really thought about this album.
Yeah.
I really think so. I think it's really a thought, what they wanted to do, and I think it's kind of because they had this Time of the Oath record that was huge in Japan. They sold like 150,000 copies, which is gold status, almost platinum. And I think that they kind of are capitalizing this, what they have, in a way which whatever I'm saying here is going to be taken wrong way. So I have to be really careful here. But I think, for example, Kiske has been always talking about this. He even wrote a book called Art and Materialism, And for me, there's a little something wrong regarding this guy.
Interesting.
Regarding this guy, because this is exactly that for me. It's a bit like Iron Maiden is doing. It's like a business venture, for me. I mean, as I see this. But I would probably do it the same way. So what the fuck? What do I know? It's just regarding Kiske because I know him since 15 years. So I know what he thinks, and this is kind of, I don't know how much he's in this actually at the end of the day. You know.
Really, I don't know. I from listening to an interview I heard yesterday, it seems like he's very, very involved with this.
Yeah, he's got to say, of course.
Of course, of course, you think he's got to say that. But from the interview, it seems very genuine, and this is kind of like, he's happy to be back. It seems.
Yeah, he's probably is. I mean, he told me that Helloween will always be his mothership.
Yeah,
that's what he used, mothership. Right. Yeah, but it was not always so. Right. Yeah, it's just that the book and his website and all this talk a lot about this materialism regarding arts.
Right.
Just to take this point into this context, that this is a very well thought record for Helloween fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
was worried about it.
I think Greg's frozen.
I was worried about Celio. Greg is worse than Celio. You have a better connection than Greg.
This is so typical Skype, man. I mean, I see this all the time. That's why I don't use this shit.
Greg always has a terrible connection.
Wait, Zoom. Well,
Zoom. Not everybody has Zoom either.
Oh, okay.
I'll just remove him and call him back.
What else? I mean, the songs. I liked when I heard Skyfall. I like that song. I think it's typical Hansen. It's. I mean, this guy can write anytime probably this kind of song. I'll just sit down in 2 minutes and it's bang.
Right. Yeah, immediately that song. I immediately thought of him.
This Out for the Glory, which is an opener, was just surprising for me because I really think it's a weak song for me.
For an opener, yes. Yeah.
So I was surprised because this Vaikat song, sung by Vaikat.
Right.
And the melody when it starts, when Kiske starts singing, I think, is this Helloween? I thought it's Skylark. You know that band?
Yeah.
I mean, the sound is, of course, as a producer, the first thing I noticed is that they went to the same sound like Time of the Oath, which some people call analog.
Right.
And like you said yesterday, the towel thing in front of speakers. I mean, this is not correct because, as you hear, it's correct, but as an analog sound, it's very bright and warm. So maybe the tape machines are wrongly calibrated. Something.
Yeah.
Because our album Episode, that's an analog, 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the whole record is analog because there was no Pro Tools. It was 95.
Right. Yeah.
So 24-track analog, and listen to that and compare that to this.
Right.
But this guy
is a difference.
Yeah, exactly. But this is for sure a very expensive record because if you go for analog, there are tape costs. Nobody has analog tape anymore. They have to buy those tapes from somewhere, I don't know where. And they use the same studio than Time of the Oath that I know. So, what is this guy doing?
He fell from the sky. Now he's coming back to his
his sky fallen. But I can definitely see that they wanted to please their fans, and that is never wrong. That is never wrong. So is he nuts? Is he nuts?
I think Wayne's frozen now too.
Yeah, Wayne's frozen.
Oh God.
King Diamond left.
Oh my gosh!
Everything
what's happening here?
On the Skype, this is Bill Gates.
This is
I'm monitoring all you guys.
Great. How soon before my Wi-Fi?
I blame
crashes?
Bill Gates.
I
blame Bill Gates too.
It's gonna be Bill Gates.
Damn you, Bill Gates! Even my
This is the
screen
most
is
professional podcast in the history of YouTube.
It hasn't been this bad ever. This is terrible. Greg is even having a problem. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm not fixing this.
We multiplied.
It's okay.
Wayne, you might want to have Michael there to talk about this. I mean, you can talk to the guy and you can ask about this materialism because that's an interesting thing what he's going to say.
Right.
Because he cannot hide the fact that he wrote a book about the subject, actually. The whole book in German, though, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, I sent him an email, so we'll see what happens.
Yes.
If he gets back to me.
I think you might have to talk to the manager. I can send you that.
Yeah,
email
send me
too.
that one too.
Yeah. So yeah, but on the whole, I would say it's a good record. I think so. What I heard now, snippets of the songs. I mean, so but I like this previous one better, for sure. What I heard,
Yeah, I think so too a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'll get into it later. Lou,
Yes, sir.
I talked to you yesterday. Or was it the day before? It might have been yesterday. And I was really surprised to hear what you had to say.
Well, again, I like to preface this by saying, out of everyone here, I am not a long-term fan of Helloween because I was only exposed to them in the mid to late 90s. Back in the day, there was a radio station, 89.5 SOU, and I heard their cover of Electric Eye that was on a Judas Priest tribute album. And the first Helloween song I ever heard was I Want Out, covered by Hammerfall. And the first Helloween album that I ever heard was Metal Jukebox, which was a fucking covers album. So that being said, my perspective is a lot different in that I have only listened to the entire discography in preparation for this very night tonight, as we, did an episode covering every album. So from my perspective, I can say that I am now a fan of Helloween, legitimately. But I could also say that this has to go on record. It's my number 3 album from them. I really enjoyed it that much. And I know during the course of the reviews, I was ripping on Kiske, especially for Pink Bubbles Go Away, Pink Chameleon. But now, as I told Wayne, I could look back and say, you know what? I legitimately like those albums. I didn't hate them as much as I said. So I take back anything negative I said. I mean, still some clunkers on there, but good albums overall. And I'm really happy that he's back in the band. And I think his voice sounds better than ever. I really enjoy hearing him sing with
true.
the
I
lineup
agree.
as it is right now. And for me, it's just great to have Kai Hansen back. I was a Gamma Ray fan and a Primal Fear fan before I was a Helloween fan. So to have Kai back in the band, for me, it's a really big treat. You could hear his playing, and I definitely agree with Greg when you hear that there's a definite compromise between playing styles of all 3 players, but I thought it meshed very, very well. From what I read, the record was recorded analog,
Yes.
which is why I think this record sounds so different compared to, well, let's say everything up to maybe Keeper's The Return. It's probably the most organic sound that they've probably had since Time of the Oath, which is my favorite Helloween record.
Nice.
And to have Charlie's production mixed by Dennis
Really?
Ward.
Dennis mixed this?
Dennis
didn't mix it. He was also a producer.
Well, he made the album sound better than if Charlie had just done it on his own.
And they sent it to some guy in New York to mix it.
That's his best album.
Well, he's Andy's former bandmate from Pink Cream 69. So I thought having him only added to the sound and the production of the record. And, for all those reasons and more, once we go into every song, it is my number 3 Helloween album after Time of the Oath and Walls of Jericho.
Wow. Very interesting.
Mm.
I don't think I would. I don't think I would rank it that high. Although it is very good.
It's my opinion, Wayne.
Of course, it's your opinion. It's everybody's got their own opinions on this show. That's why we do this show. But for me, being the ultimate Helloween fan, I guess I'm going to tie with Celio. We're both ultimate Helloween fans, right, Celio?
Yes.
On a shirt, and you call yourself a Helloween.
I'm very suspect to talk about Helloween because it's my favorite all-time band. For me, is the first band for me. Sorry, Tolkki. Stratovarius is beside Helloween for me, and
Mr. Tolkki to you.
And that's an honor to meet you, Timo. That's a finally honor to meet you. I'm your big fan. And
I know, man. I know.
Well, you're number 2. Number 2. Helloween.
Number 2. Okay. As I can say, the new album is one of the best in the band history.
Yeah.
I would put, besides Time of the Oath album, I'm more fan from Darius' era than Michael Kiske. Sorry. But I also like Keeper's era and Keeper Legacy. I think the sound of the mixing of about this album looks like Keeper Legacy. I don't know about the tuning. Maybe they are back to D sharp. I don't know. You are both guitarists. You can talk more about it. But they are back to the old definition. It's a bit higher. If you hear.
This does say, sorry to interrupt, but this says Charlie Barnfine and Dennis Ford production mixing as well. So Wikipedia says, but I don't know if you know better.
No,
I don't know.
no.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I know this. They was mixed in New York in Joey DeMaio's studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He told me that. At least he said that. So it's probably true. It's probably true.
We only mix true metal here.
Only wimps and posers use my studio. I mean the other way around.
But so I've been listening to this album for a while, and anticipating this because this is obviously my favorite band. Everybody knows this by now, and I probably over anticipated it a little bit because I expected maybe it to be a little bit better than it was. I mean, it seems a little long as well. I think it's maybe a little too long. Some songs go on a little too long, and maybe it's a little too repetitive.
It's shorter than any Maiden album.
65
Is it really?
minutes.
It's 65 minutes.
Yeah, it is 65
Well, so I guess
minutes.
what also makes it long too is they added the bonus tracks on the
I
streaming.
got it on mute.
Well, the bonus tracks with that, it's even more. I think it's 1.5 hours.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. But
Even 16 songs.
Oh, okay. But with even the bonus tracks, I think some of the bonus tracks maybe like they always could happen with the Helloween because they always overmake bonus tracks. Some of them could have taken out. Some of the songs on the album could have been taken out and replaced with the bonus tracks. I think they were a little bit better, especially Golden Times. I think that's a really good song, and maybe it could have like replaced Down in the Dumps or maybe Cyanide or something. And a lot of people I see online people saying what their favorite songs are from the album, and a lot of people are picking Robot King. I listened to that song, and to me, it just sounds like a jumbled mess, and it just sounds way too long. I don't get it.
That's 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just goes on and on and on. But for the most part, the songs are pretty good. Like Greg said earlier, some songs seem like they don't transition very well, and that's definitely Robot King. It just seems like there's just some weird spots in there. Yeah,
there seems to be.
Really do not like that one.
Yeah.
There seems to be 2 songs by Kai Hansen.
The Skyfall's one. What's the other one? I don't remember.
Orbit.
Oh,
that's 1 minute. That's 1 minute song.
Yeah, it's an intro to Skyfall.
That's the only song from him. Then
yeah.
Bikat, 1, 2, 3 songs from Bikat, 4 and there is.
Yeah.
Really, Kai wasn't involved with Out for the Glory at all?
No, that's Bikat.
No
that's
shit!
Bikat.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. That song has a real Kai Hansen feel to me. It's like Walls of Jericho meets Keepers.
Yeah.
What's
I
even
think it's
more?
more like
I'm sorry,
Walls of
Timo,
Jericho meets Skylark.
Meets what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Walls of
This
Jericho
is like
meets
an
Skylark.
Italian power metal band called Skylark.
Oh, okay.
They're not very good.
They sound the same, actually.
Halloween's better.
I was shocked.
For sure, it's
Yes.
for sure it's better. Yes.
I was shocked that Kiske. I mean, he says he was involved in this record.
He's not.
Where? He's not. His name's not on any of the credits.
No, he hasn't.
No, but
wrote any
I
song.
think I don't think he wrote many songs ever for even Helloween. I think.
I mean,
Well-
I heard a very rude joke regarding Kiske. Apparently, Dearest is part owner of Helloween. I guess with Michael and Roland. I don't know the accuracy of that statement, but from what I heard, everyone's like, "Oh, Andy's happy because he's got Kiske on the payroll, and Kiske does whatever he wants." I'm like, I don't really think that's true. I think they're all genuinely happy to. I mean, let's face facts. It's a big financial, undertaking it. They take it upon themselves. But I think they're all genuinely happy to be in each other's company, especially after the history.
Actually, Andy Darius owns Helloween.
Andy Darius owns Helloween over Michael and Roland.
Kiske is not owning Helloween at all. And I don't think even Hansen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but Michael and Roland are the two original members.
No, Grapov is
not Roland,
for sure.
Marcus Grosskopf.
Sorry, did I say Roland? I meant Marcus.
Yeah, well, what
I meant Grosskopf.
You're banned. Get out of here. You don't know anything about Helloween. Loser.
Good night.
I don't know. I don't think it's relevant actually, but what I know that it's Darius is heavily owned in the band and the trademark.
Interesting. Greg, were you going to say something?
I was going to say that kind of makes sense to me, which I didn't know. But one thing I did think about this record, while there are compromises in certain songs very clearly represent like more the Helloween of the past of the Hansen and the Kiske era very well. This whole album, I feel, overall plays to Darius's strengths more than anyone else, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah,
I'm interested. Sorry, continue, please.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you. It takes me a while to finish the.
No, I interrupted you actually.
You're even. It's all good.
But no, and I think that's kind of where a couple tracks felt choppy to me. But what you were saying earlier, I found very interesting. I didn't know about Kiske's book. But where I was saying I felt they could think it out better was more just on how songs transitioned. But I do think they did put an extraordinary amount of time on this to satisfy every Helloween fan.
Yeah,
I think it will do that very, very
well. Yeah. I think this is because I know their management very well since 20 years. And I know that the original idea to unite these guys came from them. Especially regarding Kiske. They had to present him a plan, and I think there has to be a plan for this. Also for the future. It's really interesting to see what they do after this. Especially regarding Kiske, because I think, as I see, he's not involved here in songwriting, and I know the guy's very talented and very, he wants to do a lot of things. What will he do after this? Well, that's an interesting point.
That's a really interesting point. The last time I remember that I got excited for a band reuniting with its classic lineup was UFO back in '95 when they brought back the Lights Out lineup, the Lights Out and Obsession, and that tour tanked real quick. So any plans for of a future reunion, I'm sure would have been met with bloodshed. So let's hope for Helloween that doesn't happen.
Yeah, there's going to be a tour now, obviously, next year.
Yeah, it's all set for next year.
If Mr. COVID allows, but it's I think in March or something, and that's going to be a long tour, like a year or so. So then, what's after that?
Supposedly they're going to be working on another album because
as in this industry, as you know, they operate on contracts, so they must have contract with Kiske for sure.
Yeah.
Whatever number of albums, number of euros, that's got to be there.
Yeah, but whether Kai Hansen stays or not, I don't know because like we all just said, he only wrote that basically in one song.
Yeah,
so he didn't really have too much input. He's in and out of some songs. I think there's maybe one or two songs. The first song definitely he's on, "Out for Glory," and then the other one.
More of the bonus tracks.
You mean playing on them or
and Skyfall? Yeah.
You mean playing?
No, he's doing some vocals on some of the songs.
Oh, yeah, in this way, okay. But he composed basically one song.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. Given how he sometimes, when he joined Unisonic, he was only on the one album, then he left. And I think he was doing some other stuff too. But
he was doing his own band, Hanson.
Gamma,
he was doing that for a while.
Yeah, and then
I think this whole thing started already with this Unisonic thing, which is also the management thing of their management. This bottom row, it's called.
Right. Yeah.
In Germany, so they had this idea for Unisonic, and before that it was our dear friend Frontiers Records who did a lot of stuff for Kiske by doing this very, very cleverly doing this acoustic Helloween song album. That was actually what brought the guy back, sort of.
Yeah.
In his mind, probably. So I can do this,
Yeah.
And it was very well thought. So then Unisonic, and then after this, it's clear that there had to be this Helloween thing,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it would be stupid not to do it. Really.
Yeah, it just makes so much sense to do it, especially if
Exactly.
everybody gets along with each other. Why not do it? Especially now. I mean, like they're not young anymore either, so who knows how much longer they have?
They're German, so they have plans for everything.
Right.
I mean, everybody remembers what happened 50 years ago, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about that on this show.
Why not?
No, we're not doing that.
I mean, I know this German business system. It's very strict.
Right.
Whole thing. I mean, everything is under contract there. Every little thing is mentioned.
Right.
That's why I'm saying it as a joke, this German thing. But anyway, it is true, and that there has to be a plan, a business plan.
Yeah, of course.
This,
Yeah,
it's not of course. It's not of course. I mean, it rarely happens.
Right.
Actually, But as far as I'm really interested in what Kiske will do in the future.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully, I know they're definitely going to stay together. So I think this is it with Helloween, but I'm sure he'll be doing something, something else.
Exactly. And as if he sees this now, I'm sure he's going to come to a show to defend himself for this art and materialism. I kind of say this, just to get it out, because he must think about this. I think he's thinking about this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think myself that it's okay. I mean, you have to get paid as a musician. We all,
Yeah.
So he deserves, if any, being that powerful voice, top one guy. I mean, everybody knows he's top one. He's top one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have no problem, but it's just that he is really doing exactly reverse what he's teaching in his book. With this one.
Well, that's also how long ago did he write that book, though? I mean, he was probably.
I think it's like 15 years ago.
Yeah, so he was still pissed off and bitter at what happened with the band. So I mean,
I do think he still thinks the same, though.
You think
because
so?
He likes these German guys like Goethe. He likes Rudolf Steiner. He likes all this really pure art form. I'm not trying to prove anything here. I'm just as for the sake of the argument, saying this art and materialism, because it's an interesting thing regarding this vice versa, the business plan and that,
Yeah. Well, maybe Michael Kiske, if you see this show and you see I have Timo Tolkki here, you'll come on the Timo Tolkki podcast and we can get this straightened out.
Yeah. I'll finally get to meet the guy.
Yeah, and that too. And Greg, we've had our fair share of. Yeah, maybe I'll invite you. I don't know. As long as you keep your mic off and no breathing into it.
But I gotta say one more thing here. That Helloween has a long career, and everybody knows who they are.
Right.
And everybody's watching when there's new album. So what they are doing now is a really good thing for the fans.
Of course, yeah.
And the tour is going to be really, really cool. I know that. So they're going to meet the fans and they're going to play probably a lot of songs from this.
Yeah. I mean, this has to be their most selling album they've probably ever done. It has to be. There's no way it can't be.
It could be, but what is an album these days?
I know. We're talking about today's standards, I guess.
Standards, exactly.
But
here's a funny anecdote from Keeper, because Tommy Hansen, was it Tommy Hansen who produced them, the Keepers?
Mm-hmm.
I heard the story when Kiske was doing vocals. Did I tell you this?
I'm not sure.
It's but he heard Michael Kiske for the first time. Mm-hmm. So he commended his voice that you sound like a Fiat in the morning when it doesn't start. This is woo, 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 woo. And apparently he got so pissed off, Michael, that this guy is still blacklisted or something.
I still have PTSD from driving a Fiat as a rent-a-car.
Yeah, never buy an Italian car.
The most ironic thing my friends ever saw was we were going to see Deadpool when it came out, and I'm driving to the movie theater in my Fiat rent-a-car, and they said, "Who the hell is blasting Whitechapel out of a Fiat?" Oh, it's Lou.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, death-born Fiats, kids. Great mix.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great to hear Kiske. He still has his voice and everything. But like Greg, we've listened to bands before, and we've even had a guest on the show that has a band that has 3 other singers, and we know how almost it could give you like a splitting headache because everybody be singing at the same time.
Yeah, they'd be singing at the same time, and on that one they weren't like tonally together. I feel like that wasn't thought out all the way, which made me worry a little bit about this one, but they really worked well on doing this melodically where it doesn't give you the splitting headache. What bothered me on the chorus vocals about this is they're not always in perfect unison. Sometimes one starts a little after the other, and that was what was bugging me with that. It's like, okay, that kind of detracts from the overall enjoyment of the chorus for me. But that's only on a couple songs. For the most part, I really think they nailed using the three vocalists, where you can hear all their individual strengths even when they're singing together, and it isn't this giant cacophony of noise of three guys who sing in the same pitch trying to sing over top of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gotta be difficult with three voices.
Oh, yes.
You know.
But, I really think they took the time to think that out. Well,
when you say well thought, I mean, do you think they really thought a lot how this record should be, or did they just wrote a bunch of songs? What do you think?
Well, from the interview I heard yesterday, whoever wrote the songs wrote them for specific vocalists.
Okay.
And
okay.
Yeah. So, but if it didn't work or they didn't think one of the vocalists didn't think it worked with them, then they would, give it to the other one or whatever.
Yeah, because there's two ways to do it. I mean, you just write a bunch of songs, or you really think about it.
Right.
Yeah. You really think about it. So,
I mean,
it's impossible to say.
Right.
But like you were saying before, with the materialism and whatever, there's clearly a lot of dollars
materialism or whatever
made here with the tour coming up and whatnot. So I really think they put a lot of thought into this, but I think they overthought it a little bit in the fact that some of the bonus tracks are better than a couple of the tracks that made the album. Right. I think they picked a couple longer, complicated songs that don't really work. Specifically, I'm talking about Robot King and Down in the Dumps, which I've noticed certain people love Down in the Dumps, and I don't get why. But
it's not a boycott song.
Those two songs kind of feel like they got everything but the kitchen sink thrown in there, and it doesn't really flow the way it should. And a couple of the bonus tracks I feel are stronger than them two songs, and it feels like they almost went with those because they're so multi-parted, but kind of slows the flow.
Right. This well thought. I'm sure about this actually. When the Keepers came out, these two records, they just wrote those songs, man. I'm sure of that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they for sure didn't think, oh, this has to be a Helloween record,
Right.
I think they just wrote a bunch of songs, and what a great records,
Yeah.
And then, at least for me, if I try to think how the record should be, I will fail for sure.
Right.
I don't nail it for sure. I've never done this, so. But I know it's possible to do, especially in pop music. They do that all the time, because it's a format. It has to be, it has to be specific.
Right. Yeah. Pop music, you don't really have to think about. Celio.
Yes, look at how many intelligent people like pop music today. Duh.
Hello.
I do.
I do too. I like this. There's some good pop music out there. And Celio, you actually write some pop music. I mean, your stuff is pretty poppy, pop rockish.
I love classical music and pop music too. I was listening Oasis today. It's one of my favorite bands besides Blur. Do you have Oasis in your collection?
I don't have Oasis, but I do have Blur.
I like new Coldplay.
Yes, for me, Coldplay.
Yeah, I like the higher powers a lot. I mean, at first when I heard it, I thought it sucks. I think it's really clever because it gets you. It gets me totally.
See, I forget that sometimes that's the context that people use the word pop music when they're referring to like Coldplay or Oasis or Blur.
Like Britney Spears.
Well, I think Blur is much better than Oasis.
I mean the context of the word.
The Killers is very boring for me.
Oh.
The Killers is boring?
Now you just started a fight.
I agree.
It's too dancing, man. It's too dancing. I don't like to dance.
I don't either, but I still like the Killers.
But what is better anyway? I mean, can you really say what's better than something in music?
No, it's all subjective.
Yeah,
Right.
well,
It's
always
also
thought
bad.
I always
Objective.
thought if you say you know what's better, it's really arrogant to say that. And you know what's good and bad, right?
well, this is Rat Salad Review. We do know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know.
We
you
don't know
know.
what's better. It's better
You're
subjective.
the only
of
person
course.
that knows.
I am
Yes.
the only person.
We are your
Actually, it's
subject
kinda
matter
true.
experts, bitches.
Yeah.
For me, blood is better than always. But for you, it's another opinion. No problem. I respect.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know what's blurred.
You don't know? Yes, you do.
I mean,
I
quite
don't know what's
personally,
blurred.
I think
Oh, you do.
all of the name bands there are terrible.
It's a customer.
I would
Unless they
take
had the Japanese
As I
version,
said,
you'd love it.
hey, it's not
I
so
would
good.
take the Commodores and Tower of Power over that any day of the week, which you guys probably don't like. But that's still kind of pop music. It's just jazz fusion based.
I love the Commodores, and they're actually playing a free concert in my area this summer, so I plan on going to check that out. Of course, no Lionel Richie, but that's okay.
You guys do know that all music is shit except jazz. It's total shit.
I do
Well-
love. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not your first time being wrong, Timo.
You got it.
Not the last. Not the last either.
I do like Alan Holdsworth's actually my favorite jazz musician, but he's dead now. So
He's a very good player.
yes,
Excellent player.
But back to the Halloween thing. Celia, what's some of your favorite songs off of this album that you've had your chance to listen to?
Well,
Go ahead.
for a start, I don't like so much Out of Glory because it's an ego free song inside the walls of Jericho. I don't like it because it's the same thing. It's very fast, just like walls of Jericho with Michael Kiske voice, which is nice. But I miss it the Antidote's voice in the first 7 minutes.
Right.
Is it the Skylark? This is Skylark. It's the same.
This is the Skylark song, yes.
Yes. I tell you, man. You take any Skylark on Spotify, it's the same song.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Yes, and my favorite ones are Fury of the Fallen, of course. It's the best song of the album because I saw some influence of Divine Comedy book from Dante Alighieri in the lyrics and the lyric video. I just wrote a news report article about it,
Okay.
and I saw some Dante Alighieri influence.
I like
in
that
Hell
song too. I think
part.
it's a good one.
I love it. This one is my favorite. And Robot King, I love it. Robot King because this maybe talks about future dictatorship by a robot king, which maybe is Cerberus or Hitler. I don't know. It's something apocalypse.
Robot
Apocalypse.
Hitler.
Robot Hitler. That's my favorite song too. And
That's a very interesting thought. Robot
Supposedly that's
Hitler.
a
yes, I don't know. The new Mihail Vaika style of writing. I love it. That's just like
it's wonderful.
Klaus from My God's Given Right. I love this one. It's my favorite. And another one I like is Rise Without Chance. I
Okay.
think Andy Darius is the biggest composer in the band because every song he writes, it's perfect. He's a great composer. Andy Darius, he's
He wrote
perfect
five-
composing.
He wrote five songs from these 12.
Yes,
Oh.
just like the older albums.
I think
Yeah,
what is
well,
really cool as well that this guy seems to be really united because there was a time when they were doing this. What is time before Time of the Oath, Master of the Rings? Or something.
Yeah.
There's a song called Mr. Ego.
Mhm.
You know who that is? That is written for Kiske.
Kiss
Actually.
me. Yeah.
Yes. So it
Oh, I
seems.
knew that.
Yes.
But it's a horrible.
You know.
But
song.
it was that was written by Holland Grapple.
Was it?
Yes.
the
Okay,
one guy
Honestly,
who's not in the current
I
line.
know.
and Darius never had anything against Kiske. It's just about Rollers Grapple lyric. And
I
he's
see.
not in the band anymore. The nice
No,
guy,
no.
of course.
Celio, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Darius kind of have a little bit of a problem with singing that at first because he didn't want to do a knock against Kiske?
I don't
thought
know.
I read
Well,
that somewhere.
I think he doesn't mind because he already sang it. He already sang all over the albums around, and he is the main writer now. Yeah, I think he doesn't care about
I
singing
mean
it.
back then when that came out.
Celia,
Okay.
do you know what
They-
Greg is asking? He's asking, did
I'm not hearing.
Dearest have a hard time wanting to sing Mr. Ego so as to not upset Kiske or any old school Helloween fans with that song? It's a
Oh, I
question.
think about who was pissed off. I don't know who.
Supposedly it
The
was about
fans.
Kiske.
Yeah, it was supposed about Kiske, but
Yeah.
it wasn't written by Andy Darius.
No,
it's
no,
written by-
but- Yeah.
All right, let's just move on.
I think they were.
I guess
think
Dearest had no
No,
problem
no, but
singing it 'cause he sang
nobody
it.
cares.
They were. I think.
No,
there were huge
no.
fights. I think there were huge fights after this Chameleon record. You know.
Yeah.
Which was a flop. It was a huge flop. It was EMI, this big record label, and it failed. And I think there were a lot of fights. And then they got Andy Darius in, who was in a band called Pink Cream 69, a German band. You know, and they got him in. He's totally different kind of a singer.
Yeah.
And then they come up with this Master of the Rings, which was a really big hit. You know, and I think they really nailed it. I think it's a great record, actually. So
Yeah.
they did very well because it's really difficult for anybody after Kiske to do anything. You know?
Right, yeah, especially a change of singer like they did, you know.
Exactly.
I just saw another interview from Michael Kiske. He said that Darius saved Halloween from that time.
Right, yeah.
Even Kiske
Yeah.
said that.
Right.
And you see, if Kiske said that, so it's okay. I agree with Kiske.
And let's put one rumor to bed.
That-
Michael
oh,
Kiske
here we
was
go.
never up for the lead vocalist spot in Iron Maiden after Bruce Dickinson quit. So let's just get that out there right now. It never happened, people.
I think
Yes.
they were in the same management. They were in
Oh, Rod Smallwood?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, okay.
That's why. I don't think they were not ever considering because he's a German guy, and you cannot have a German guy in British band. I mean, come on.
Right.
Which is
No.
probably the reason why Ralph Shipper
Yeah,
has
of
never
course.
joined Judas
Of
Priest.
course, Stevie Harris
Yeah.
wouldn't let a German sing in a British band. Of course.
Yeah.
No, Rod talked about it in an interview before. It was just a rumor that got started because people saw Michael and Iron Maiden were both on his management roster. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no truth to it at all.
They toured together. I saw
Yep.
them many times together on Seventh Son of the Seventh, and I saw that
Yeah.
gig. I mean, you know,
88 Donington tour, yeah.
right. So of course, the 1 + 1 is 4. So they think about this.
I think it's funny, though, that Celio just mentioned a German guy singing in a British band. What about Pink Cream 69? It's a British guy, David Redman, singing in a German band.
Yeah, that way is okay.
Okay, all right, we'll accept
So
that.
it's okay.
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. It's better in this way.
But the really good songs I had, the ones that I think are the best ones. Mass Pollution is probably my favorite song off of here. I think that's the most Halloween sounding song on this whole thing. Very catchy and very melodic in there. Fear of the Fallen, that's another one of my favorites, probably my second favorite. Indestructible is okay. Obviously Skyfall. I don't like. I mean, the edited version's okay, but the to get the full effect of the whole song, the original song, is to listen to the 13-minute song. I think that's a lot better.
You
It
just
really
like
sounds
hearing
long.
Hanson say, "Hey, little alien." That's what you like.
That's weird. they got rid of that. But and also too, Sasha Gersner sings a part in one of these songs. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Best Time.
Yes, he co-wrote that with Darius.
Yeah. So he's actually singing on that one.
Yes,
I
he's
think,
singing.
Yeah, I think Kai Hansen was supposed to do it, but then Sasha sang it, and the producers liked the way it sounded with Sasha, so they kept it in there.
And he comes from a band called Freedom Call. So
Yes, he did. Yeah, and then he has his own band now. What's it called? Celio. Crap. What the hell's the name of that band?
Ballast.
And that's pop music right? That's like
Ballad.
synth pop.
Synth pop.
Yeah.
Synth rock.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's actually
Synth pop.
pretty
You
good.
mean like Frankie Goes to Hollywood,
I was thinking more erasure, but
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode. Okay.
although
Yes, it's
I
very
did
similar.
like Chris Amot's formerly of Arch Enemy, his last solo album, which is more electronic pop music. It was pretty good.
Oh, I've never heard of it. But Out for the Glory, yeah, I think that song, it's a cool opener, but the chorus kind of lets it down a little bit. You know, I think it's not put together like all the other, like Eagle Fly Free or even like Ride the Sky. I mean, it does, like Celio said, you do have that mix. Whoops, sorry. You do have that mix of those few songs in there, but the chorus don't deliver for me.
The modulation in that song with the chorus was a little odd. It took some getting used to, but I
Right.
didn't mind it after a while.
But otherwise,
You know,
what? Go
The
ahead.
interesting fact about Kiska and Vaikat was that they were real enemies at some point.
Right,
know.
yeah.
Real enemies. They really hated each other's guts. So then finally they met, after like 10 years or so, out of coincidence, when Unison was playing the same festival.
Yeah.
So they met actually face to face by accident.
Yeah.
And this kind of was one of the things that allows this Helloween to happen, that they actually talked.
Yeah. Supposedly,
then-
Whitecat said
Yeah.
something like, what can I do, or what did I do to you? You can't forgive me, or something like that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Exactly.
But it opened things up.
Well, I think
Right.
it's very big of Waiki to have done that.
It's like being, in the kids, kids are in the same band. I mean, these are all kids.
Right.
We are all kids.
Yeah.
All musicians are kids, basically. And the stupid fights for whatever the reasons, It's just whatever it has been,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you were doing Stradivarius when you were younger, and the other members that you worked with, they probably, some of them probably got a little big headed or whatever, being in their, huge Stradivarius band, and
I
tried
did.
to-
I know I did. So,
yeah, I know that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, exactly. Oh, you mean me? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I was the only one. But
No, I'm sure you weren't.
yeah.
But so, I mean, so in all, it's a good album. I was hoping for a little bit better, just more catchier songs, more maybe to not be so busy with the songs. I think some of them really have too much stuff going on in them. And like I said, those bonus tracks, I think they're a little bit more stripped down, and I was hoping it to be a little bit more stripped down like those bonus songs were.
Mhm.
But otherwise, I'm glad that this album's here, and maybe the next album might be a little bit better. I don't know.
I think when they tour this and then they see the fans, I think.
Right.
I
think
don't
it's
think
gonna-
so.
No.
Why? Why?
I don't think the next album gonna be better.
I think
I
so.
don't
I think this is like the they're getting used to being with each other again. So now they'll do this album, they'll go on tour again, and then they'll be more comfortable with each other. On the next album, Kiski might write a song, Kai might write maybe a second song. I don't know.
Actually, they did a very long tour for the Pumpkins United.
Yeah, they
it was
did.
like a year or something. So
Yeah, I think it was
they
almost 2 years.
they
yeah.
already know how it's going to be.
Yeah. But now getting back together, writing actual music together, I think now
Right.
they'll be more comfortable with that next album.
There's also, I think, Tobias Sammet has to be given credit to get Kiske back to metal, because he really took him with Avantasia, because I can see from the records here that from 2006, 8 was this Past in Different Ways, which is Helloween acoustic album, I guess.
Yeah.
And after that, it's only Avantasia, actually.
Right, yeah.
Before Unisonic. So
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I don't think he would have got back. That's
Exactly.
why he didn't use his real name when he did the advertisement stuff.
Yeah, but come
I
on,
was just about to ask that.
Yeah, he called himself Ernie, his brother's name.
Everybody knows it was him, of course. And
Yeah,
he
of
knew
course.
it too.
Yeah.
I think it was more a joke.
Yeah, no, it was. Lou, I haven't asked you. What's your favorite songs off the new album?
Well, here's the funny thing. I thought that this is the first time that
Hold
every
on.
time I talk, something's going on. This is the first time where I actually
I'm gonna
felt
blow
that-
balloons while you talk. Hold on.
Oh, we lost Greg again.
No, he's still there. He just hit the.
All right. So this is actually the first time where I thought that the full length album outshined any of the bonus tracks. And by the bonus tracks, I mean Golden Times and Save My Hide. I thought they were good. I thought Michael sang great on Golden Times. I thought Save My Hide was okay, but I thought the songs on the full length were better than that. However, Pumpkins United, which is, I think, a Japanese bonus track, which was the single before the Pumpkins United tour, love that song. And We Are Real, probably the most anthemic song I thought they ever wrote, and I loved it.
I haven't heard it
But in terms, sorry?
I have not gotten to hear that song yet.
I watched it / listened to it on YouTube because it wasn't on the iTunes release.
Yeah.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Yes, iTunes. I don't steal music. I purchase it, or
Perfect.
I try to buy physical
I see
media.
somebody does.
I have ethics, sir.
Right.
But I can't say that I hate any of the songs on this album because I love them the same way I do Time of the Oath and Walls of Jericho. So I'll just accentuate the songs that I do love. My favorite song on the album, probably an album cut that they'll never play live, but I thought the lyrics were direct and effective and the vocal harmonies were killer. And I have to give the credit to Dearest. It's Cyanide. That's actually my favorite song on the album.
Interesting.
And Orbit's not really a song. It's a segue between, the end of one song to the beginning of the other, but I thought it was one of the best ones that they ever did, leading into Skyfall. Skyfall is a killer song. Mass Pollution. I actually made a joke about this one. I said, it sounds like Andy is saying, fuck you, Kiske. You will not upstage me. You will soar, I will roar. And it's probably one of my favorite choruses from Helloween. I actually could have heard this on Better Than Raw. I thought it would have fit well on that one, too. I really can't say anything bad about it. Fear of the Fallen, I would say, would be my third favorite on the album. Wayne, even though, we just discussed Out for the Glory, I loved it. I thought it was a modern-day Helloween's take on Keepers 1 with hints of Walls. I thought it was a great way to open up the album. And again, emphasizing that I think this album is the best Kiske's ever sounded. Just happy to have him back, but more stoked to have Kai Hansen back with the 3-guitar team with Wyckoff and Sasha. And to hear Danny's playing on Ingo's kit, probably the most organic his drums ever sounded. And, again, having Charlie and Dennis producing and mixing the thing, I don't know, just made for a perfect album. Just my opinion, and I'm probably in the minority, and I'm okay with that. But that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Cool. Greg, what's that, Timo?
I just can see that from the Unisonic thing in this first album, Hansen wrote 8 songs.
Oh, and Unisonic, yeah.
Yes, and Kiske wrote 2. I can see. So just interesting regarding this dynamics, whatever is going on there.
Maybe really Kiske doesn't like to write lyrics. I don't know.
No, he wrote 2 songs.
Yeah.
Complete songs.
Oh, complete songs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably for this album, he maybe wanted to take more of a back seat and just kind of like let it roll organically and see where, he could just concentrate on his performance more than his songwriting. Because, let's just face facts. He's the old guard coming back to join the new guard. So he's, probably just staying reserved for that reason. But whatever his reasons are, I don't know. It didn't hurt the album, in my opinion.
He did write solo records, though. Full records, full albums. So, he can write songs.
Maybe we'll get those answers if, Michael Kiske, you come on the Timo Tolkki podcast.
Yeah. Maybe he comes because I think he has to say something. If somebody sees this, I think so.
That's right.
That's one of my
of course, Mike Kiske is a great songwriter too, but for this style of this album, at this moment, maybe he didn't want. I don't know.
Rouse, get on the Skype.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. See, to me, when I started listening to this album when it first started, it seems a little bit out of his, not his range, but out of his kind of style in a way. Because Helloween's gotten a lot more progressive since he's been in the band. It's gotten a lot heavier, a lot more progressive sounding than he's been. So I don't know. It's just kind of like a weird little thing to have him back, but it works. That's why I say I have better hope for the next album.
Yeah.
But Greg, some of your favorite songs off of this? I don't think you mentioned that.
Sure. I can tell you all 5 of the ones I genuinely like. Out for the Glory. I like that song a lot. I feel pretty much the same way Lou does with it. Fear of the Fallen. Mass Pollution is great. That also reminded me of Better Than Raw. And then Cyanide, Orbit, and Skyfall. Best tracks on it.
All right, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of mix of like every era of Helloween is on this whole album. You know, it's thrown in there, even if it's
Exactly.
And once
you know,
again,
Yeah.
Greg and I are in agreement. That's awesome.
Yep, you just like the album as a whole better than I do.
That's fine, but we called out the songs that we did like. I think 4 out of 5 of them were
yeah, no, it's a good album. Timo, you want to add anything else?
Yeah. Who you guys think killed Kennedy?
Oh man, it was that guy in the grassy knoll.
Actually, not. He wasn't.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee
What are you,
Harvey Oswald.
retarded?
That's biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
Who do you think it was?
Jack Ruby.
Was it his wife? Did his wife kill him?
It was a guy from a manhole from below.
Oh, I've heard that theory as well. Yeah,
It's not a theory; it's a fact.
I know. I've heard that.
Yeah, but it's just a joke. I mean, I have nothing to add.
Yeah,
I think
no. Okay.
I think they. It's just a very dear subject for me, especially when I have Americans here.
You know what you should do is write an album about it.
Bullshit, but nobody
Come
cares.
on. Yes,
Dylan Jerry
people-
Maybe
Smith
we-
already wrote a song
Maybe
called
we
Magical
should you
Theory.
write a book about it, Timo. We should
Write
you
a
about
book.
at least
An
write a book
There's
about
been
it.
like a million books already about it.
There's never been an album about it.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah,
Oswald.
no,
Just
no.
what's
Not
the
an
film?
album yet.
What's the Zapruder film? What's that? And then, how can
I
it?
see.
Well, this is not music now.
Well, yeah, I
What-
wasn't.
No
I
problem.
wasn't disagreeing with you anyway. It was just waiting.
What should I say about this record?
I can't. I'm not good at
Yeah.
remembering shit. You know that.
Yeah, I just think that it's a good melodic metal album. That's it. This
Yeah.
doesn't have to be analyzed more than this. They did what they were set out to do. I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
Being good Germans, they did. I
They
don't
did
want to say this.
Celio, you want to add anything else? I feel like I didn't have you.
Well,
talk.
it's okay. It's nice to stay here, and I love the live stream. That's one of the best Halloween albums ever made.
Yeah.
It's not the best one, but it's one of the best. Yeah, it's okay. No problem. Let's wait for the next one.
If there
Yeah, I
is
think
one,
it's just
there
so
should
maybe you should after the tour.
Yeah.
Maybe they should make a live stream in this year.
be. Mhm.
Live stream concerts this year, and like
There-
Nightwish.
What is
They
that?
were-
Live stream?
Yeah, a lot of bands have done live stream shows.
Yes,
Online
and
shows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gamma
think
Gamma
they-
Ray did one.
I think this album can become a classic after some years. Let's
Like-
let's wait about 5 years and talking again about it. I don't know.
Why should they do live stream when they go on the real tour?
Well, I'm not talking about now, but but when nobody was going out and doing any tours, a lot
I mean,
most
should have
bands,
done. Okay, should have done. Okay,
Yeah, should have done.
Yeah, I think so too.
But they
I
did.
mean, the Nightwish did here like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot of
And
bands.
they had like 35,000 people.
Wow.
That's a great idea, of course.
Yeah. But
What
now
else can you
everything's starting to open up now, so we should be all right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be with the vaccinations and stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what
If you
happens.
want to get that 5G chip on your shoulder, they're monitoring you everywhere. It's a lot of bullshit, of course.
It
Just
is.
get
We're
the
not getting to
fucking
that on
thing.
this show.
No complaints yet. I've worked my way up to 3G so far.
Well, he's from Brazil,
Yeah.
so
I
in Brazil,
want this. That's it.
in Brazil, it's
Brazil-
the worst place to be in this moment.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about the coronavirus here.
Really?
I'm the only crazy one here. Who cares about it? Yes.
And nobody cares about it on the Halloween podcast either. Lou, where can we find your podcast?
You can check me out over at musicisLifepodcast.com and exclusively on the Route Review Network. And if I could just say one thing to Timo before I give it back to you, Wayne.
Yeah.
Sir, it was awesome to be able to play on Hunting High and Low with Wayne. And I hope I don't butcher this. If I do, I apologize. I just want to say, on mukava tavata kitos muzikista.
Okay, ole hyvä. What
I don't
is
think.
that?
Sorry,
is
I
that-
forgot to
what is-
say
what is that
something
website
about
of
Hold on a
Brazil.
second. Hold on a second.
What is that
Mu-
website? Of,
musicisLifepodcast.com.
that's fucking
Nice.
long.
And basically what I said to him was, it is nice
Subscribe
to
it.
meet you. Thank you for the music.
Yeah, he said in Finnish.
And then he said, "You go fuck
Another
yourself."
thing I forgot to say about Brazil. We have a monkey as a country president.
A monkey.
Yeah, they love
Bolsonaro
their
is a
president.
monkey. It's terrible.
Is
Oh my
this your
gosh.
website?
No.
What? What's this?
That's not my
It's your
website.
music.
This is not my website.
MusicisLifepodcast.com.
Live.
Yeah,
Live,
what the hell did you put
live.
on? Yeah, what'd you do? Music is wife?
Music is live.
No, not live. Life. With an F.
Anyway, someone should really teach that
Yes,
monkey
guess
how to
life.
do the safety dance. That'd be awesome.
Yes, and then you can what?
Personal loans. Request a loan from 500 to 5,000 for any reason. I guess it's not this one either.
Wayne,
It's not that one
Send them
either.
the link for
Wayne,
fuck's
send
sake.
Wayne, send
Yeah.
Timo my website before he gets a hit from a prince from Nigeria who wants to give him $1 million, please.
Exactly. View offers.
Music
This is your website.
is like
It's not my
no,
site.
podcast. Dot.
This is not a porno site, okay?
No,
I don't think it's a porno site. You Wayne, you have.
I put it in the chat there. There it is.
Okay, I will check it out.
MusicisLifepodcast.com. And then also you can go to ratsaladreview.com where you could actually I don't know if I have a link to your website on there. I'll have to put one on there, Lou. Make it easy.
CelioAzevedo.com.
And yeah, I'm gonna get to you. Where can we find your
Too late.
Go ahead.
Sorry. CelioAzevedo.com.
All right. And please subscribe to Celio's YouTube channel. He wants the subscribers, so subscribe.
And don't forget, on Facebook, Greg has raffles for his record and CD collection, so buy some.
Yep, wicked sweet vinyl waffles. Join.
Anything cool coming up? You got should be sold?
Accepts up now. Three records. I'm a Rebel, the first one, and Balls to the Wall. I've got to clean some stuff, and then probably some hair and thrash metal come out, because everyone's asking for hair metal right now because it's summer.
What is hair metal?
Yeah,
Shit like Poison.
Poison.
Oh, you do that stuff?
Hey, people want to buy it. I mean, I only got to listen to it once to grade it. So
How about art and materialism, my friend?
I wouldn't call it art, but if people want to spend their money on it, I'll take it just as much as the next. Wow, that was a really bad.
I wouldn't call it art.
People to play my rap.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that, but okay. You got me there.
And also, my band. Go buy my CD. It's Timo Tolkki approved.
Yes.
ProjectResurrect.bandcamp.com.
Very nice.
Timo
I
Tolkki
put it
says
to
it's
my
good.
Facebook when I'm finally unbanned in 3 days.
And
Because I have this thing, you look at this thing, it's a
what is that?
restricted account.
Why?
Because I put Jens Johansson's
Yes,
ass.
that sucks. Right, yes.
It's funny thing because Facebook started, you know how it started. As a Zuckerberg rating girls from 1 star to 5. That's how they started.
Oh yeah.
So it
And
was his
now-
own personal Tinder.
Yeah, exactly. And
now-
now, because I'm, what the fuck do they say? Why?
They don't tell you why.
Nudity or sexual activity. I can actually just, this is the photo.
What is it? Oh, it kind of went away. I can't see it. Got to move it over to the other side.
It's Jens Johansson's ass.
And they censured you for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they did that. But just to know that the original Facebook was to rate girls.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and now look at it. Timo, what do you got going on? I know you got your new Avalon album. It's out.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of out.
Yeah, it's out, I guess. Well, I'm writing songs.
Oh, and I just heard the songs that you demoed with your Infinite Visions thing. You gave them to another band.
Yeah, I did. because I didn't want to use the same songs. I want to like fresh new songs, like Helloween did.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna really think, not, you know. I'm gonna do this Max Martin Star Wars power metal album, you know, kind of thing.
Okay.
It's gotta be Star Wars in there, in the way that Def Leppard did with Hysteria. They said, Matt Lange said, we gotta do Star Wars, you know.
Yeah.
And I love Star Wars, so you know I gotta do Star Wars now.
All right. I hope so.
It's just the most important record of my whole career. Nothing less than that.
I hope
You
so.
know.
Can we make
Yeah,
a good album?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's just a little bit difficult to make because of the bar is so high.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. Where do you go from here, really? You know.
Exactly.
It's
I'm
fun.
gonna go there though. I'm gonna get there, but just a little resistance now.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. And then me and Timo will be making an album soon together at some point, right?
Why not?
Yeah.
When we finally meet.
What
gonna
about
have
the new solo album? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I'm
we
writing
do.
songs for that. And there's gonna be Latin American tour in September, October, so August too. I think
Nice.
30.
Very nice. Come to Brazil.
Nobody comes there, man. No.
Oh my gosh. Let's fix that. With vaccination, maybe.
No, we are
Come to
coming
Rio
there.
de Janeiro.
We are coming there in March, next March.
Very nice.
It's going to be like 30 gigs, and I think there's going to be also New York, Los Angeles, and what else? Pittsburgh. I don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully, if you
Steel
get to
City.
New York, if you get to New York, me and Lou are coming, right, Lou?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we
You
will.
guys, you still have this BB Kings?
No.
No.
Okay.
BB Kings is gone now, unfortunately.
I see. We played there. I remember it was a cool place.
I played there when I was in a Rush tribute band. It was a great night.
Oh yeah. I
No,
went to
it's,
see. I went to see the Dakota because I love John Lennon. I had to see that,
Mm.
and also the park. You know, it has a park next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell's open now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Is it really? How is the States doing? Is it open now? Everything's open, right?
Everything's open.
Right.
Everything is open.
Yeah,
And-
concerts are back. The Foo Fighters just played Madison Square Garden, and
Really?
Jones Beach is playing a bunch of shows this year. Billy Joel is back to doing his residency this fall. So yeah,
Okay.
you know, concerts are back.
Very nice. We need that now.
Yeah. We need Billy Joel back.
I love Billy Joel. I mean,
Yeah.
here
Right,
it's the
Greg?
same. Also here in Finland, it's the same. I mean, they are opening up now.
Oh.
All the stuff, concerts.
What
I
is-
don't hear him.
Greg,
Yeah,
you're muted.
You're on mute, Greg. You muted yourself. There you go.
Billy Joel sucks.
And on that note, we will see you guys next week. And actually, I got a surprise. I got an interview with Danny Lobel. So he will be on next week. Sounds cool, right? That's right. Look how excited Lou is. So I will see you then.
Oh yeah.
Peace.
Who's that?
The drummer from Helloween.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
See you guys
of course,
later.
Now I know.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
What?